G'day guys, Matt here from Not in the Manual. Today's video I want to talk about Tesla's software update 2024.44.25.4. Now this was the holiday update that I got a couple of days before Christmas, but I went away for a few days, or roughly a week, and then I've been back and just had a few things to do. Wanted to spend a bit of time with this update, and then I've been back at work and that got pretty busy, so I haven't had time to do a review of this update. But there's been some newer updates since for some cars. They're really just a bit of an incremental update. So I just want to talk about all the features that were released in this update. Now, there are some that we got here in Australia and some that we missed out on. There may also be some features here in the car that you're not aware of that were actually changed in that update. So they're the undocumented changes. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I'm not going to bore you with all the details, but I've had a few other things in personal life, work life and everything that just means I haven't had time to spend on the channel, and that had to take priority. So one of the things I can tell you about is my eyesight. You can see now I've got glasses on. I've had some issues with my eyesight, which has made editing a bit of a chore. I have a lot of videos in the editing stage, maybe another 4 or 5 videos that are in the editing stage. Some of those now, a bit of time has passed, so I'll probably have to reshoot those. But I do have a video on battery degradation and how to measure that, the tools that we have available to us right now to measure battery degradation, and I talk a bit about the battery degradation and a little bit about LFP battery basics and the prismatic cell construction things there. So I sort of went a little bit off track in that, but it should be an interesting video for you guys who really have just bought these cars and don't really understand what the LFP battery is and what it means. So I have a few videos on the batteries. You can look back through those, but this one will be just a bit more current and up to date and more relevant to my car now. So I have a 2023 Tesla Model Y. It's a rear wheel drive and it's the hardware 3. It's not the hardware 4 version. But as far as what we talk about within this holiday update, it's pretty much the same. Hardware 3, hardware 4. Just hardware 4, I think you get, and the newer Tesla Model 3, you do get a few more features available. So we'll discuss that as we go through. So I'm not going to be going through it for every variant of the Tesla vehicle, really just what's relevant to most people here. So we can start by looking at the documented changes or documented features within the car. So if we go and have a look at the screen, I'm here on the release notes. So you go to the software tab, scroll down, and there's release notes next to the software version in your car. So I'll just quickly show you how I got there. Software, scroll down, you've got the software version, and hit release notes, and that's the screen I'm at now. So this is all now a part of the car's manual. That's not something new, but that's where you can find them if you want to look, have another way to find them. So to begin with, we have the Apple Watch. Now you can see here I don't have an Apple Watch, I've got a Garmin watch, so I haven't been able to test this feature out. Now my brother-in-law has an older Model 3 with the older MCU. Yeah, he has the Intel Atom processor in his Model 3, it's a 2021. And he says the Apple Watch works fine, and he actually likes it because he's not like me, he doesn't carry his phone everywhere, so he finds it quite handy, and he finds it actually works better than the phone. So occasionally, I don't know if you guys get it, but I know when I walk up to the car, it doesn't always unlock for me, and it's a bit tricky, especially after an update. It is a little bit glitchy, and it depends which direction I am coming to the car from and how long I've been close to the car. So if I go away from the car, sometimes I come back and go to open the car and it doesn't work. I need to pull my phone out of my pocket and just unlock it, and then the car unlocks. So it's frustrating, but it's not every time, it's only occasionally. So it's not really a big deal. And I've never had a point where it doesn't actually eventually work after 10 seconds or so. So that's not a huge deal, but the Apple Watch apparently works very well. We have the mobile app Dashcam viewer. Now I'll overlay some footage here of me using that within my app. It's quite good. This is something that people have been wanting for a long time. You can now view your Dashcam clips and your Sentry mode clips directly to your phone. You can stream them from your car, no matter where you are. So that's good. You do need to have Sentry mode enabled, and you go through there, and then there's Dashcam viewer. So I'll have shown that to you on the screen with an overlaid video. Search along the route. So we can hear when we navigate. So if we go and let's navigate to, let's just do this, navigate somewhere here locally. We can now search along route. So once you touch on the map, we can search along the route. We can look for food. Shows me all the places along my route that I can stop at. We can go to, let's just type in Hungry Jack's, and I've added that now. We can go via Hungry Jack's, and it tells you here, you know, the time it's going to take and everything there. Precipitation map and weather at destination. This is something I've wanted for a very long time. I'm a bit of a weather nerd, so I do quite like, I really like now having this weather here. But in addition to that, now if you touch on the screen and select that little cloud at the bottom, it will zoom out, and you can see here the Sydney area. We've got some storms and things coming in now. The animations here aren't that great. I'm hoping that they will improve this as time goes on, this feature. It's not really showing those clouds moving. So if I looked on Bureau of Meteorology radar, we would see that sort of moving. It'd be a bit of a different animation, but this is a good start. Usually this is what happens with Tesla. They bring out a feature and then they improve on it as time goes along. So, you know, that's something I've been waiting for a long time. And you can actually sort of zoom out and see it in a wider area. It's not just where you are, and it's not along your route. You can even sort of look worldwide. So we can go up here and look at, you know, the Solomon Islands. We can see Indonesia. We can go right up in here into China. So it is worldwide radar data. So you can see we have some weather moving across here. In Sydney, we're expecting some storms today. You can see 33 degrees here, and where are we? 60% humidity. So we're expecting some decent storms here this afternoon to pass through. So you can see a lot of that developing around the edge here. Those storms will then move in across Sydney. So this is quite good. You can just have that on if you're a weather nerd like me, and it's a pretty good feature. So you know, you can't really sort of look at that on your phone while you're driving, but you could have that up here and you can glance down at that while you're driving if you want to see what's going on with storms. So if you lived in the US and you had some pretty nasty thunderstorms coming through, that could be quite handy to sort of keep an eye on that. Oh, weather at destination, I didn't show you that. So if we navigate somewhere, it now shows the weather at destination. So we go back to this screen, you can see here 30 degrees. Sometimes it shows it down here. I'm not sure, but definitely you can see it here. And if it was somewhere further away, let's go, say, to, let's navigate to Brisbane, Queensland. We'll go to Brisbane. This is like over 1,000 kilometres away. 23 degrees in Brisbane. And you can see all the charging stops I'd have to make. My car's on 26% state of charge. There we go. 23 degrees on arrival at final destination. So that's the little thing there, and that sort of disappears. So if you want to view that again, you've got to scroll back down here. So imagine in the future it's going to then sort of show the weather at each of these charging destinations as well at some stage. So yeah, we'll see how this feature improves as well. A big focus on weather. Rear cross traffic alert. Now, this is something I've wanted for a while. Now, it's not the same. My wife has a Mazda CX-5, and even I had a Volkswagen Tiguan years ago. It actually had radars pointing out either side of the car, so it was able to see those cars coming a lot faster. It didn't have to wait for it to get into the view of that rear camera. So it's not as good as what some cars have, but I think it's quite handy in car park situations and backing out of your driveway. But just be warned that it's not something that's going to warn you of a car coming from a long way away, unless maybe the side cameras here at the front of the car happen to have a clear view down the street that you're backing into, or the car park. So I think really it's just relying on that rear camera to see the car coming into view there. So it's not perfect, but it is it is a much needed improvement. A lot of other cars have it, so it's good to see. Tune-in radio on Tesla, that's still free tune-in. You just need an account and you need to log in. I don't really use tune-in, but it's actually had a revamp in here. If we go and look at tune-in, it's got the blue dot next to it, which shows that it was quite new. Yeah, this is rearranged. It does look a little bit better. I'm not logged in, so but yeah, that's a little bit better layout. I don't know if it's any smoother or not, but yeah, it's just giving some of the popular local radio stations here. Look, as I said, I don't really use that. I'll use the digital radio, or I listen to podcasts or Spotify, so I'm not really using TuneIn, but it is a good free option for music streaming. Okay, light show update. So here now you can synchronize with other cars. You can now start it from your mobile app. You go to light show. You can do it through the app. You can schedule it through the, so where you go to schedule, I might just overlay a video here. You can schedule light shows and things and synchronize them with friends. If that's your thing, you can now do that. Boomerang Foo, this is a new game for the arcade. Now, I haven't played that yet because it needs a controller, and I don't actually have a controller in the car, and I haven't played it yet, but that looks like a fun little game, so I'll be giving that a try. And yeah, I don't mind those little games, but you really just sometimes don't get time to play them. Years ago, before my daughters were old enough to drive themselves around, I used to be picking them up from places all the time, and you'd often get there early and need to kill a bit of time, so I would play the games a bit more often. Okay, the next part of the update, theatre and video updates. So use the media card to play and pause any active video content playing through the browser or theatre. So start the video in the web browser before you drive to enjoy your favourite content as audio on the road. So I guess if let's just give that a try. Go to theatre, YouTube. Let's see. You can see what I've been researching recently. Okay, so I've got a video playing there. No, that didn't work. How do we do that? We minimize it. Ah, here we go. Okay, so that's it there. So we've got a video playing here. We can pause it, play it. So I guess if you were treating a video like a podcast, which I know some of you guys have done with my videos, you can just be listening to that here now while you're driving. So that is actually a good change. So I know there are some podcasts on YouTube, and that would be quite a handy feature. So we've got, what else was it? So we did that, start a video in the web browser. Yeah, so that's quite a good thing. seat controls. So this one now, I've had seat controls for a while using the Enhance Auto sexy buttons and the sexy knob. So this wasn't really something new for me, and I think it's a bit of a half-assed feature, to be honest. So you go into settings, seats, and then you can control this seat here. You can go backwards and forwards, but it does the back of the seat. Let me try and get a shot of that. So you can see here, if I push forward, it's just if you want to get the seat out of the way, I don't know, for camping or whatever. But yeah, it's not a totally useful feature. I've actually got a button under here, and you should be able to see both things at once. So if I single press on that, I've saved a seat profile. If I double press on that sexy button, you can see here, it's moved that to a second seat profile. So you can do up to sort of 4 or 5 different seat profiles and assign it to a sexy button here, you can see. So I keep that under there, and I can just quickly change that seat. And then my daughters sort of know, okay, they come in and press that, do a single or a double press, and I've got seat profile saved. I've also got in the sexy knob here, I've got a seat submenu, and I can go into the seat submenu, and you can see here I can put the backrest forward, backrest back. We can slide the seat forward or all the way back, or I can just rotate the knob and get the seat to move. So hopefully you can see that there. So because I've got this sexy knob and the buttons, it's not really impressive to me. I've actually got passenger seat profiles that I can use now. And yeah, I mean, this, as I said, this is sort of the start of a feature, and hopefully Tesla will release more features within this menu as time goes on. So as I said before, these are a good thing. I don't want to be too negative, but just really I'm not super excited about that feature because of what I explained. The next documented change was a maintenance summary. So we can now go through to, I think, service maintenance. So if we go to the service menu, we now have a maintenance menu here, and you can, these are all the things here you've got. So when you rotate the tires, you can, I didn't set that, but 29,000 Ks I'm due for another tire rotation. Cabin air filter replacement, it's saying when it's due, and it just says wheel alignment check. So you might want to give yourself a reminder here. So windshield camera area precision cleaning, okay, as needed. You might want to remind yourself to clean that at a certain interval. Wiper blade replacement, so I did replace my wiper blades, interval 1 year. I'll just do it now, let's see what happens. Confirm. So it's now moved that up the schedule. So it's telling me now in 1 year's time to replace them. I replace my wiper blades a bit more regularly than that. I'm a bit fussy with the wiper blades. So, and they're only cheap. I don't know why, it's easy to replace them. So tyre rotation, I'll fix that up when I do a tyre rotation at 30,000 kilometres. And I find it's really worth doing tyre rotations. Okay, let's go back to the release notes. Maintenance summary, that's what we looked at. So minor updates. So tap nearby parking on any point of interest page to get directions to nearby parking. Okay, so let's go here and say Blaxland Riverside Park or Newington Marketplace. Okay, so now you can see here I've done Newington Marketplace, nearby parking. You can click on there and it tells you where you can park. You can park actually at there, or it shows you parking lots nearby. Someone attempts to open the door in the boot while Sentry mode is active, you receive a notification on your mobile app. I've had that happen when the door doesn't open for me, when it hasn't detected my phone. I get a notification straight away. I'll overlay a video of that. When reviewing dashcam clips in your vehicle, the video player will skip directly to the recorded event. You always sort of had the red dot there that you could just scroll to anyway. Energy app's consumption page has been updated to let you view your energy usage over the last 200 miles. That's something I'm not very happy with. I like to use the 10, 25, 50 kilometre sort of thing. I'm not very happy about that update. I think that's a backward step, and hopefully Tesla realise that and fix it. So if we go into the energy app, you can see here in the consumption tab, you've got no control over. It just works out what your consumption has been for the last 300 kilometres or 200 and something miles if you're an Imperial. And yeah, I mean, that's really not useful if your consumption changes over a short period of time. I think that's a real backward step. I honestly don't know why they've done that. The rest of this sort of energy app hasn't really changed too much. Park here just gives you a bit of an idea of what's happening while the car's been parked. I think they've just changed sort of the overall resolution of this and sizing of things too. Oh, while reversing, your music volume can automatically lower to help you focus on parking. So as you get older, the music becomes a bit more distracting while you're trying to maneuver the car at low speeds. So that's handy to have that happen automatically. So I think that is under safety. Lower volume in reverse. So we can see that's a new feature here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't listen to my music too loud for that to be a problem. I'll try leaving it active and see if it annoys me. But we can test that out. Vampire Survivors has been updated with new levels and things. So that's just a game update. Minor fixes and performance enhancements have been applied. So in Australia, we now get Vision Autopark. So that actually shows up down here as an older update because everyone else has had this for a while now and it took us a long time to get this. So this was thrown into our holiday update and made the holiday update seem a lot better than it actually was. So I think a lot of these things are really sort of incremental. They're not the traditional huge features that we've seen for the Tesla holiday update. So it's a disappointment that it took us so long to get this improved Vision Autopark. Now I'm going to do a separate video reviewing Vision Autopark. I've been using it. I think it's a much more confident system, and being able to select the actual parking spot a lot easier. It's so much better at identifying parking spots. It's too good in certain circumstances, and it identifies parking spots where there isn't one. Like if you're sitting next to a car in traffic, and it will find a parking spot behind the car next to you. So I guess, yeah, I don't know. We sort of skipped a couple of updates because we didn't have one for a while. So that's all it there. I'll just have a quick look on Not a Tesla app and just see what some of the undocumented changes were, if anything. There was a Sirius XM update, which we don't get here in Australia, the satellite radio. There was some auto shift update for the Model 3. And setting arrival energy, we actually didn't get that. So if we go in through here and we navigate somewhere, say we navigate to Brisbane, so normally you would be able to hear, a lot of your other guys in other countries would have set arrival energy here. We don't have that yet, so maybe next update they'll release it here. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't be able to have that. I mean, we don't have as many superchargers around here in Australia as what you do in other countries, so maybe that's why they don't give you the option of that here. I'm not really sure about the reasonings. Yeah, a lot of the other things here were for, a lot of the ambient light features, they now sort of work in with Rainbow Road and things like that for the new Model 3 and Cybertruck. Navigation is now supposed to automatically navigate around road closures. I found that a bit annoying with this car sometimes. It doesn't automatically route around road closures, and that's cost me a bit of time sometimes. It's a bit annoying. So now with the car being able to do that, as long as it's a reported road closure within the traffic reporting system within the car, so you can see here I've got the traffic, I've got premium connectivity, so it shows there's a little bit of traffic wherever it's red, orange, that means there's a bit of congestion. So if a road was closed, that should actually show up on here. Whether we actually have that feature here in Australia, I'm not sure. I haven't encountered a road closure yet, but I'll certainly let you know if I find that feature useful. In Europe, so when you're driving along, for auto lane change, it will actually have a little symbol now up here showing you when an auto lane change is available, just like when it tells you whether auto steer is available. So that's only Europe at the moment. I haven't noticed that in my car. Okay, we've got where are we? Toy box, emissions. So you can now set it for what do we got? Fart on contact. So you can preset this now, so when someone sits in that seat, it automatically does a fart noise. Yeah, to you guys who like using that feature, that's a pretty good update. So it happens automatically. So I guess you can surprise people a bit easier with that. Voice assistant. So I haven't noticed any improvements here. I don't get the hi. It doesn't actually say hello back to me. So I know some of you guys, if you say hi or hello, the car responds and says hi back. We don't have that here. I think the sound equalizer's now changed. You've got a reset here. That could have been the previous update. I don't know whether it's just this one. As I said, we sort of skipped from an older update to the new one. We missed the, I think, 44 update, or the whatever it was before the holiday update. We missed out on that one here. So we jumped a few. So there's probably another one is just general performance enhancement. So if you have an Intel-based car, Intel computer-based car, I think you can tell if you go to software and we look at vehicle information, you can see here I've got the AMD Ryzen. If you've got the Intel, you would have noticed that the web browser and some other things, YouTube, navigating through things, was a bit slow. Tesla have hopefully improved that for you. There are some updates to service mode animations, and I think mostly that's with the Cybertruck. I've yet to sort of look through that to see that, but I'll do a separate video on that if I think it's worthwhile. I think just in generally too, the menu has been rearranged slightly. So I mean, we had the seats menu go in. I think it just got slightly rearranged from the previous update. Not really seeing much else here. There's toll roads, so when you navigate, that was supposed to be a new feature, but I thought we always had that. So if I navigate to Brisbane again, you can see here it gives me at the start of the trip, you can see the little dollar sign. It's moving around. Dollar sign means there's a toll road on that particular path. So if we zoom in, you can see it's giving me a couple of different routing options. It tells me this one has a dollar sign, but it's faster, so there's a toll. I thought we'd had that for a long time. I'm not too sure why that would be sort of noted here as a new feature. Charging icons. So if we look at charging, they've now changed. They now show you the numbers of charges free at that site. So if we look at Macquarie, 4 out of 10 are available. So you're now getting that in the bubbles here. You don't just have to look up here. So that's a bit clearer. That's quite good. You can now change the Dashcam viewer speed. So if we go to, actually I think I can just click on the camera there. Wait for it to start up. We've got Dashcam viewer speed here. So we can change that 0.5, 1 plus. So that could be handy in certain situations. Tyre pressure indicator, now when the warning comes up about tyre pressure, it will take you to the tyre pressure card if you touch on it. I had to do that the other day. We had some cold days, and because I'm sort of borderline, I had the tyre pressure thing come up and I pressed on it and it took me to, it also takes you there once you press it so you can have a look at your tyre pressures. So guys, yeah, I think I've covered everything here in this update. I'll do a separate Autopark, a Vision Autopark video, because I think for you guys thinking of spending the money on the enhanced autopilot, it's quite good to know whether that is useful or not, or how much it has improved, because enhanced autopilot is quite expensive. So I think it's good for me to be able to demonstrate that to you like I did with the previous Autopark, for you to see if it's worthwhile. At this stage, I still don't think it is, and until we get the actual smart summon maybe, but then even that's got its risks as well, so especially with a hardware 3 vehicle. So anyway guys, I will leave you there. Hopefully I've shown you some features on here you didn't realize had been updated and found it very useful. So that's it for this video, and I will catch you next time. Thanks.